Hey, so sometimes it's not about telling you what a camera can do, it's about showing you what a camera can do. And that is exactly what I'll be doing in today's video, because I'll be reviewing the newly released Canon camera, the R50 V. So I'm gonna bring you along to a photo shoot with a model, and my aim is to create a series of photos that feel like they are from a movie. That also means that we're gonna put the cinematic skills of the R50 V to the test. We're also gonna be shooting a very interesting car, a car that has been on my wish list for a very long time. It is such a sunny day today, which is perfect because I really want to have a good sunset for these photos. And this is also the first time I am seeing the car in person, and it is so sick. How does it smell? We have to smell it.
Give it a smell.
Oh, that smells so good.
Squire.
So we're currently sitting in a Toyota Century, and I've been wanting to photograph this car for a very long time, just because of how, in some ways, quirky it looks. It also has a lot of like funny features. Whoa!
It's the only window that works in the car.
It's such a classy gentleman's car, and I think with the model we're gonna photograph tonight, it's gonna be so beautiful. Fits the camera perfectly.
I thought my car was long. This is enormous. I'm like driving a whale.
So as you can see, I filmed everything in C-Log 3, and I had a lot of fun color grading all of this footage, especially because I wanted to emphasize that cinematic look and feel. And besides that, the footage was filmed in 50 frames per second and of course in 4K. And that way I could still slow down the footage. If you really want to commit to the slow motion footage, then this camera can film up to 120 frames per second, but then filmed in 1080p. And I hear you, you might be a little confused, because in my previous video I reviewed the PowerShot V1, which is also just as light and just as small. But there is actually a difference between these cameras, because the PowerShot V1 is more meant for vlogging on the go, and this one is more meant for content creators that are looking for cinematic depth in their videos and also want to be able to switch lenses. And if you're still curious to which camera would be best suitable for you, then I've linked a video in the description that Canon created to clarify it a little bit more. I am reviewing this camera also from a photographer's perspective, so I had to take some photos. This camera has a 24.2 megapixel sensor, and as for the lens, this is the 14 to 30 millimeters. The lowest aperture on this lens is f4, so usually I shoot 1.8 or 2.0, but I actually feel like f4 really works for when shooting a car, because I still want to have all the details in focus, and at 30 millimeters it films at f6.3. You can easily switch between photo and video. But let's address the obvious thing in the room. Obviously it doesn't have a viewfinder, and of course, when I film my YouTube videos, I film POV footage too, so I always have it in front of me. But usually when I work with harsh lighting, I like to just, look through the viewfinder, and then I actually can see what I'm shooting better. Something groundbreaking about this camera is that it has an interchangeable lens. And I think it's pretty funny that this camera is really small, but this lens is pretty big because this is the 50mm f1.2. It is also, I think, triple the price of this camera. But this was just to show you that you can change the lenses to any RF lens, no matter the size. Just make sure you're holding it properly because I feel like otherwise it's just gonna snap in half. Then, as I was saying before, this camera is for content creators that want to take it to the next level. And especially now, you see short form content and vertical shot content everywhere. So this camera adapted to that. Because you can also attach your camera to the tripod from a vertical angle and then angle the display up like this, and you can perfectly see whatever you're filming. This camera also comes with a bunch of built-in color profiles. Actually pretty much lots that are built in within this camera. And especially when we're talking about that cinematic look, there are a bunch of color profiles that actually enhance that even more too. My favorite time of day because there is so much to shoot and everything looks good and you can actually see the headlights and the tail lights, but there's only so much time because blue hour doesn't last forever and I always get a bit overwhelmed, but we're doing the best we can. So then getting back to putting the cinematic skills of this camera to the test, I think it nailed it. It kept up with low light too, but I feel like actually bringing this camera into the field and testing its limits and shooting with it and showing you the footage, to me is the best way to review a camera instead of, you know, bombarding you with a bunch of information. This way you could actually see how it performed. Thank you so much for watching and hopefully we'll see you at a next video.